All right, welcome back to the Longview PD On Air podcast. I'm your host, Michaela Vaughn.
And I'm Carrie Higginbotham.
And I am Ryan Rocket.
And today we have a special guest. We have Officer Syndi Howell.
Hi there.
So this is our Blue Santa episode of the podcast. We're talking all things Blue Santa. So we brought Officer Syndi in to talk about it. You're the chair, right?
I am the chair, yes.
Okay. So,
2 years running now, so
nice.
running the whole show.
Very cool. Do you want to introduce yourself, talk a little about yourself, and then we can get into Blue Santa stuff?
Sure. So I am Syndi Howell. Syndi Howell.
Not Sydney.
Not Sydney. I've been an officer for a little over 8 years now. Before that, I graduated from Kilgore College with an accounting degree, an associate's in accounting degree.
Do a lot of accounting these days.
I account for the fact that I wanted to make more money.
There you go.
I'd wanted to do police work probably since I was about 10 years old is when I decided. And I got the degree and realized that was really a boring life and I wanted to do something more exciting. So I finally put in my application in May of 2015 and was hired in October. So went through the academy, did all that, did 5 years on patrol. Then I went over to the traffic unit, where I've been for the last 3 years. And recently I've been selected for a PAR officer, which is the police area representatives. So I'll move over to that next month.
Very cool.
Where are you from?
I am from here.
So you're born and raised in Longview or just East Texas area?
I was born and raised in Good Shepherd. I was born in Good Shepherd here in Longview, raised in the general area. I went to school in Sabine.
Cool.
Liberty City. So graduated class of 08. Been here all my life.
Woo, woo, woo.
Something like that.
So you're a traffic cop. Can you explain to everybody a little bit, what your daily looks like as a traffic cop?
My job is a traffic officer. So mostly it's traffic enforcement. So we go out to the areas where we may have more crashes or more concerns, people running red lights in certain areas, speeding problems, things like that. That's my number one priority with my job. And then the second would be accident investigations. So the pretty bad crashes, things that are a little more than just a fender bender in the parking lot, is something that may require an accident investigator or an AI. And that's what I am. So I have that certification and I go out and it involves a lot of math. So my accounting degree actually plays into it. I can math.
Good job.
Yeah.
Carry the 7.
Yeah. Yeah. Speed is the square root of 30 times distance times the, it's a whole thing.
That sounds complicated.
Oh man, it's a lot of fun though. That's kind of what drove me into getting into traffic in the first place.
Okay.
Is because I actually like working with numbers, and sometimes it's like solving a puzzle for me. So figuring out what formulas to use and the drag factor of the road and how to do all of the yaws and the measurements and everything. It's a lot of fun. It's very interesting. I know I'm speaking Greek to some of you, but
Yes, me.
All three of us.
Yep.
no, it's a lot of fun. I say fun. It's interesting. And so that's kind of what drove me to get into traffic. But I started having other involvements with things more community-based, and I realized that PAR was more in line with what I wanted to do at the department, and that's why I put in for that position. So thankfully I got selected.
When I got the email that you got selected, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. I saw it at National Night Out. That makes a lot of sense.
Well, that's great because you and I haven't had a whole lot of interaction.
Yeah.
So if you can pick up on that from a mile away.
Yeah.
I think I said in my interview, they said, what are some positives? Why would we pick you? And I said, well, if you ask anybody, I can talk to, I said, I like to talk a lot.
A lot.
To people.
So much.
You're always going to hear me. I'm always, walking around the PD being kind of loud and talking to everybody that I see. And it's really lonely sitting in my car by myself because I talk to myself because I have no one else to talk to. And true story. Sometimes I need professional advice. So I give that to myself. And
okay. You don't have to go far.
Right. So being able to interact a little more with the public and the community and more, I won't say that traffic enforcement is a negative light, but a lot of people aren't really pleased when they see red and blues behind them.
Yeah.
Especially after they've, committed an infraction or whatever it may be. And so maybe this other role will be a little more positive for people and get a different side of law enforcement, not just ran the red light and now I'm getting a ticket, already late to work or whatever it may be. So I'm excited for that change, just because I've been doing it for 3 years now, and it's time for a change.
Yeah, I think it'll be cool.
Yeah.
A note on you being a traffic cop. Weren't you a traffic cone for Halloween?
I was.
That was funny.
I loved it. I also had traffic cones painted on my nails.
Okay.
Yeah. So
very cool.
Very, very much into the cone scene.
I guess we want to just talk a little bit what Blue Santa is for anyone who doesn't know.
Sure. So Blue Santa is our program that we do through the police department, where we reach out to the community and find families that we could help provide a Christmas for that they may not have otherwise or may struggle to provide for their children. So that's kind of what the overhaul of it is.
Okay.
So we try to serve 100 kids every year.
Okay.
We have a little over 100 this year, with about 126 children that we'll be serving.
Okay. Very cool.
When we say serve these kids and help these families out, how was Blue Santa doing that?
So recently, in recent years, we have changed to our event as a shop with a cop. So we take these kids, these families come with us to Walmart, which is one of our largest donators and very wonderful organization of people helping us with that. They go to Walmart. We get to go shopping. We spend, in the past, $100 per child, and now we're going forward $150. With inflation, we had to raise that up, which is great. We were able to afford that, so we get to go shopping with them. So it's an interaction, not just with the kids, but it's a really good interaction with law enforcement for them. So they kind of get to see we are people and have that relationship and everything with them. So
let's talk about the history of it. You said here recently we've transitioned to the shop with a cop aspect, right?
Right.
What was it before? Talk about that.
Before, it was more of, we got lists of what kids would want, and we went and bought all of the things that they asked for and wrapped all the presents and then had them delivered. And it just kind of got overwhelming, and we needed to transition to something that was a little easier to maintain. As times were changing and things were getting more expensive, kids were asking for more expensive things than what we could provide. So, or we would buy the wrong thing or buy the wrong size, and then you were getting all the returns and everything, and it was showing up. And it was really a madhouse trying to, people would mix up packages and deliver to the wrong house, and it was just chaos. So we refined it and made it simpler, and now the kids know that this interaction, these gifts and things come from us, essentially, or the police department is providing this for them. So they kind of get that positive side of law enforcement.
So that's one of the cool things that I've noticed. I've been active with the Blue Santa program since probably 2011, 2012. Not in a role like you have, but just a volunteer willing to participate and put bicycles together for, before, when we didn't do the shop with a cop, we would provide these gifts and have a big like Christmas party kind of thing where all the families would come to one location. And it was a cool experience, but I think there's a lot to be said for the one-on-one contact that we have now with the shop with a cop part. It's not just everybody showing up and being together for a few minutes, not really knowing the connection that the department has with each one of these children that are coming out for the event. With the shop with a cop, the time that you spend, even if it's half an hour walking through a store and getting to know these kids, it's a really cool experience. Now, I like the change from the going out and buying a bunch of gifts and hoping that it connects with the kids to having the children be part of the process and that one-on-one connection with the officers who are shopping with them. I think that's a pretty powerful tool that we have, a good way to relate to the families that we're serving, build bridges with the kids that don't really have a lot of experience or a lot of knowledge of law enforcement and who we are and what we do. They just see us for the few minutes that they see stuff on the news, or that we may respond to a call in their neighborhood or their house, and they don't get to see the humanistic aspect of who we are.
Right.
And to me, that's a lot of fun.
I've noticed too the change in officers' attitudes towards the program as well over the years since we changed to the shop with a cop. People who maybe had never had any involvement with the program now come to our event, and they have a good time. It's a party at this event, and we shop with these kids, and we spend 2 hours every night with a whole bunch of them. We serve 20 families each night. So, because I think we have about 40 this year to serve, but about 20 families each night. So you're not spending a whole lot of time, but man, it's a blast.
Yeah.
And we have a good time. And I've noticed that there's just been a huge rise in just participation and attendance to these things.
I will say, though, I don't think I'd ever heard of Blue Santa or Shop with a Cop. And once I guess these two found out that I would be taking pictures and stuff, they were kind of talking about it. Everyone who is participating is like super excited, like almost like, yeah, it's as fun as National Night Out. And I'm like, oh, okay.
I think it's more fun than National Night Out.
Okay, wow.
I enjoy it because it's just like seeing the kids get so excited, and then you tell them they get to go pick whatever they want, and they run through the aisles, and they're like, can I get this? Can I get that? Yeah, come on, throw it in, and they just get so excited. So
I'm really looking forward to Monday and Tuesday.
It's a blast. You'll really enjoy it. You'll feel it. And Walmart has been wonderful with their employees and everything. They all get involved. I have one employee that I've talked to, and she designs a theme every year for us. So last year we were kind of really taking off with our Grinch suit, and they took that and made us a whole Whoville theme.
Oh,
so it was really
cool.
They're really interactive. They love being a participant in this. And I think she had told me that she wanted to do like a Winter Wonderland theme or something. I'm not really sure what's going to happen this year, but they've been awesome doing all of this.
I'm excited for it.
I like the fact that it went from just us and them, and it kind of brought more of the community in, because Walmart, they don't donate just items, but it's a lot of time, because they'll shut down part of the store. The store becomes accessible to only the kids participating in the program and their parents and families. And it's like a Christmas party at Walmart for the Walmart employees, because they get fired up with it too. Yeah.
They love it. They are so excited. They reach out to me months prior. We're still on for Blue Santa, right? We're still going to do this, and they love it. I think in the past they've done like stockings for the kids, and they ask how many we have so that they can make all of those up for us.
That's really cool.
We have dedicated store members that help us specifically. We have our own like checkout lanes that are set up specifically for just Blue Santa. And it's just a party. And like you've said, the citizens kind of get to see that too, because they are shopping in Walmart saying, why is all the police here? What's going on?
What's going on?
And we've had a lot of interaction where people are learning about our program that way, where they come up and they'll hand me money right then and there. Say, I want to donate. I want to help. Let me donate to this, because they see that we're out there making a difference.
Right.
So that's been really great for the program itself, for the kind of like positive boost that police sometimes just need, because we get so much negative stuff all the time. So it's really nice to see those things kind of come together when you make it more interactive than what it was in the past with just buying toys and sending them and never knowing if they truly got there.
Right.
Talking about Walmart and how big of a help they are as a company. They've got these great individuals that are out there helping us out, but truly as a company, they're a really charitable corporation. And especially when you have officers like myself who struggle with numbers at times, and you're shopping with kids and you have a limit of whatever, it was say $100, $150, whatever it was. And you go over by $10, $15, you get to the checkout and you see the register counting up and you're like, oh no, I may have messed up, right? Like I don't want to really disappoint this kid and tell him, okay, you've got to pick something, put it back. And people at Walmart have been great about that. The times where personally anyway, I've screwed up and messed up my my account for the total. They've just jumped in and said, hey, we'll take care of that. Don't worry about it.
Yep.
Yeah, they did that the first year because we really didn't account for that. We thought everybody could count.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But now we obviously thanked those employees that stepped up and paid with their own card. That was their money that they were using to pay for these kids, and that was awesome. But now we have enough funds through the citizens and through department that we've received that we have a surplus, so we can cover those overages without having to take out of our own pocket or someone else's pocket. So.
Very cool.
Yeah, the progression that this thing has taken has gone from something that, virtually had, no personalized interaction. It was just one of those like, this is the list. We go Uber Eats this stuff in the store, take it over, drop it off, if you will, and then that was the end of it. And then when y'all made this transition to the Shop with a Cop idea, The first year it was like, we had the same people that had been involved in the program participate. And then when the stories started coming out of like, dude, this kid ran up, gave me a hug, and we ran around the store for an hour, just like goofing around and picking out toys. And it seemed like that next year there were like 50 people like, hey, can I do that thing too? Like, it blew up.
That's what I like. I've loved seeing that, the interaction and the progress and just the attitude change with the officers, because they didn't know what Blue Santa did. And they weren't participating because Blue Santa people were handling all of that for the most part. We were going and doing the shopping, or we were just wrapping. We were doing our own wrapping parties. So we weren't really involving a lot of the department either. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of given us an opportunity to bring that closeness to everybody and get them all involved into this program, which is wonderful, because I hear it from officers who in the past have not been thrilled with maybe how things were run with the program. And now they're like, oh my gosh, this is so much fun. I love doing this. I love going shopping with the kids. And they're encouraging the newer officers who've never been able to participate because they weren't employed here before to come. You got to come. You got to come. It's so much fun. So yeah, it's been great. It's been a great transition into the Shop with a Cop.
I do think it's important to note that the Blue Santa program is not directly affiliated with the Longview Police Department or the city of Longview.
Correct.
So it's not like your job primarily right now is a traffic officer for the city of Longview, and then in your own time, aside from your typical schedule, right, you get tasked with this thing that you volunteered to step up with, along with other people that are on the Blue Santa committee or board or whatever you want to call it. It's a volunteer organization that y'all have really taken off and run with.
Yes, absolutely. Volunteer. We try to schedule as many things as we can throughout our workday because it's just easier when we're all together, but very much so. Yeah. I think our event is on Monday, and that's my day off, which I'll be here for. So, yeah, very much 100% a volunteer thing, not fully associated or affiliated with either the police department or anything like that, but it's still a lot of fun, and I enjoy being a part of it. So.
Could you talk about the committee a little bit, like how far out you guys start planning for Shop with a Cop and everything?
Oh, we'll start planning as soon as this one's over.
Okay.
We start in January.
Okay.
As soon as we kind of close out our year and our event, we have a recap in January, and that's where we start saying, okay, how can we make this next year better? Mm-hmm. What can we change? What are some things that we talked about changing? Because there have been some really good ideas that have come up, which just they come up a little late in the season for us, and we can't implement them right away. So I'm like, hey, let's bank that. We'll use that next year.
Okay.
So yeah, we start in January, and we have meetings throughout the entire year, and our program really kicks off in September.
How is so we talked about Walmart was a major donor, both in in donations and frankly in a lot of time. It's just not just money. Like, time is super valuable. What are some other ways that this thing? What makes this happen?
Well, the first thing is a lot of our donations come from officers themselves.
How's that?
They donate through their checks. So a lot of them will have an automatic withdrawal, and that's kind of what fully funds us for the most part. Then we have Walmart that donates. Another big donor is Telco Credit Union. It's been wonderful to us. And then we also have the Masons Lodge, the Pine Tree Masons Lodge, and just so many other citizens. I think this week that just so many people have shown up and I've been trying to give this money away, and I've had more people call me in the past 2 weeks wanting to donate, and small businesses wanting to do fundraisers for us. I've had about 3 reach out to me over the last few months wanting to do things. So that's kind of where all of our funding comes from, but a big part of it is from the department itself, from the officers themselves. So
that's super cool.
Yeah.
So talk about how the families, the children that are being serviced by Blue Santa for this Shop with a Cop event specifically, how are they selected? How does that process work?
Our program is 100% officer referral. So it is with officers going out on their routine day-to-day patrol, coming across these families and recognizing the need.
Okay.
And so then we have an application process. They get the application to me, and we do a little vetting, make sure that this family is somebody who could use and utilize something like this. And then we put them on our list and go from there.
After you check it twice, of course.
Yeah, we do check our list twice.
That was good.
I think it's been about 8 times.
That's cool. So anybody who's listening, how could they get involved with Blue Santa if this is something that really reaches out for them and compels them to get involved?
We accept donations year round. We take monetary donations, and we also will accept new stuffed animals. So if someone wanted to donate brand new stuffed animals to us, we could accept those as well. But mostly monetary is where we're at, and check, cash, PayPal, we have anything like that. I'm always looking for volunteers for our Shop with a Cop night. So anybody that wants to do something like that, they can reach out to me, or pretty much anybody in the department could show them how to contact somebody to do that. Mostly the volunteers that come to the event help me organize, because I can only do so much and be so many places at once. And having those extra eyes and extra hands out there to shop is just invaluable to me, because I can't leave my station where I'm at trying to run the program. So there are several ways that people can get involved, but donating always helps us support more families and more kids that way. So
Cool.
Is Blue Santa a 501c3?
it is 501c3. We do have all of the documentation for those require it, and receipts and everything like that.
So that works out good, because those big donors, they can write that stuff off and helps them out too.
Yep.
And it's a good cause to get to.
Absolutely a great cause.
Cool. So aside from the Shop with a Cop, there's still a few other things that Blue Santa does. I know that in the past, anyway, with the SWAT team, we have done. Even coming up next week, we've got this thing at Good Shepherd where the SWAT team's coming down to rappel with Blue Santa. When we're done with that, your Blue Santa program is going to go with us into the hospital and meet some of the kids who are going to be in the hospital through the holidays and not be able to experience Christmas at home, and help us out with the giving them some like books and stuffed animals and things like that. How does that process work on y'all's end?
Well, my Santa is actually one of your SWAT guys for that event, so it makes it a little bit simpler, kind of get everybody all on one page. And we have, of course, we've received a bunch of donated books in the past, so we have a bunch of books to give out to kids and stuffed animals that we have to give out, and we just are going to show up and try and bring some joy to people who may not, see the joy in Christmas because they may miss it or something like that. Right. So I don't know if is Santa actually going to rappel?
That's what I was going to ask.
That's still in the works. We're trying to do that. The only concern I have is I don't want Santa's beard to get caught in any rappelling equipment. So if we can find a way to keep him from ripping some hair off his face.
Do you want to do like a hairnet on the beard or something? Yeah.
We may have to do that, but that's the plan. Yes.
I know that's rappelling's not usually in Santa's TTs and Ps. There, he's normally straight chimney guy.
Yeah, he usually just a slave.
He's got to get creative though for those that don't have chimneys. So this is good practice.
We can't just be showing that magic,
right?
To everybody's going to have to use the robe. I remember the first year that we did the rappelling at the hospital. It was pretty cool because there were tons of kids lined up in the windows across the that wing of the hospital, and they were all beating on the windows like, hey. It was really cool. It was a lot of fun.
I've never been able to make a rappelling event, so this will be my first one.
Oh, good.
I'm
really my first one too.
Good.
Yeah, so we get to do that this year with SWAT. That's going to be awesome. We also have this new kind of thing we test ran. Our first initial kickoff is our Santa in September, because Christmas in July is overplayed. So Santa in September was just kind of a meet and greet. We sat at Telco Credit Union. They provided their lobby to us, and we sat up there one day, and Charlie's Snowballs came and donated all of his snow cones, and he made Christmas-themed snow cones for us that day. So it was pretty great, just to kind of, again, interact with the community and get our word out of what we do and who we are. We received several donations through citizens that walked through and said, "What's this?" And we explained what we were, and let me donate to that. And people were pulling out cash and donating to us, which was really awesome. So we want to kind of grow that again this next year. And we're planning on partnering with the Boys and Girls Club and athletics and doing maybe basketball stuff with some of the kids, things like that. Some sports things, and just got to get us a little bit more involved with the community and maybe some of those families that are involved in the Boys and Girls Club may not know about the Blue Santa program,
Right.
and we can interact with them and possibly get them on the list.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. This is, I guess, for all three of you. Do you guys have any, just personal, memorable experience where Blue Santa really impacted you? Any awesome stories?
For me, so it's always fun. First of all, I'm a big kid at heart anyway. So just to hang out and cut up and go
6'6", 8-year-old.
Right. It's the only chance I get to hang out and just cut up in a big store with no real adult supervision for myself. It's always a good time, right? But there's this family last year, I think it was the year before maybe, but it seems like there's one every year, at least one, if not more, that do the same thing. But I was shopping with this family. There's 3 kids in the family. There's 2 young kids, and then there's this one girl. She was probably 12 or 13 years old, right? She's definitely the older of the family. She shopped and she bought like a pair of pants and a little sweater, and then she wanted to spend the rest of her money buying Christmas gifts for the rest of her family.
Yes.
And so, this is something that you go out and the majority of the time you have in your mind that these kids are going to be buying gifts for themselves, which is what it's for. Like, that's what it's designed for. And so that's not a bad thing by any means, but just to see this girl being so incredibly unselfish with money that was donated for her to spend, for her to have gifts for her Christmas, and she takes that to take care of other people. And I don't know, that's a cool moment. And
yeah, for sure.
Meant a lot to me to be able to be there and experience that.
Yeah, we had last year when I was doing it. It was a little boy. I bet he was probably 6 or 7. Little guy, and he was fired up. And I was like, "Dude, we got this gift card. It's got $150 on it. You can get whatever you want." And his mouth just like dropped open. He's like, "Oh, what?" So I'm like, "Yeah, man. So let's grab a buggy and we'll run around here, like a bunch of kids and whatever we want." With some exceptions, right? There's some things that we're not comfortable.
We don't let them buy mature video games and guns that look like real guns.
Yeah,
that's really the only thing. Otherwise, go hog wild.
And so this little guy, he wanted some video game for I don't video.
A Switch.
I'm not sure.
Nintendo DS.
Something.
Game Boy. No.
I think people are going to immediately know that you are not young in real life when you're talking about like a Game Boy. So
Carrie still has a Walkman, so
yeah.
Carrie's old.
Yeah. Be kind, please rewind, right? Hashtag Blockbuster.
Stop.
So we're going through, and he finds this video game. I'm like, do the math, call in some help, on that one because it's hard.
I feel your pain.
Call a friend, yeah.
I'm like, "Hey, buddy, you got like $80 left on here," and he goes, "I still have money left." I'm like, "Yeah, what do you want?" He goes, "I don't know. Let's try to find something for my mom." And I was just like, "Oh, give me a napkin." Somebody's cutting onions. He was so serious too. He was like, "Yeah, I want to get something for my mom." He was just like, "Oh man," and the absolute innocence, and like you were talking about that. This kid, we're trying to give him something, and he's just got an absolute giving heart about him, and that's what he wanted to do. Was like, "I want to get my mom something."
Yeah,
man, that one pulled at me, and it got. I had done Blue Santa for several years, and then in the last few years, it's like my wife's like, "When are we doing Blue Santa?" And she's up at the front helping, with all the logistics.
And I love that. I love that people just want to get involved. It's easy to kind of forget why the families are there because you're having such a good time and you get so caught up in the moment. And for me, it's always when we go to check out and we say our goodbyes when they come, the mom or dad comes and hugs my neck because it's like, oh, I forgot, we were having such a good time. I forgot that this was for you guys because of the struggle. And I think especially since 2020, because I think we started the Shop with a Cop in 2019 and then COVID hit and we were concerned about it because we didn't know if we were going to be able to do it. Yeah. But I know 2020 affected a lot of families. And I think 2021 was our largest family number that we served. I think we served over 300 kids that year. It was chaos.
In the best way.
In the best way. It was so much fun. I truly enjoyed serving that many kids and being able to serve that many kids. But you kind of get caught up in the moment sometimes and just forget that these families were selected because they may not have been able to get Christmas otherwise. So when the parents are grateful and they hug my neck, that's kind of my favorite. And there's always 2 or 3 families that truly stick out to me. I had one little girl. She kind of reminded me of me. She was very artsy, and she's a little bit older, and she was obviously not shopping in the toy section with all the younger kids. And her sibling ran off with another officer. I can't remember who. And she wanted to go to the craft section. I was like, hey, I got you. I know that section. Let's go. And we were just going through and picking out things. And she was like, oh, I want this. And it was 97 cents. Okay. Do you want 8 of them? She didn't quite understand that she could get whatever she wanted. And she wanted to buy things for her friends and family and her mom. And so it was really sweet to get to hang out with her, because her mom just kind of let her run off with me, because she's like, she's with the cop. She'll be all right. And we had a good time. And we were talking about different crafts and things that she could do. And she wanted to buy things to make for her friends as well. So that was really cool. But she kind of sticks out to me as one of those family interactions that I had that truly brought joy to me. But they're all fun. every family I shop with, it was completely different and exciting and exhausting, but in the best way.
That's awesome. Yeah. When we're done with it, I go home. I sleep like a log. Oh my gosh. I'm running around like an idiot, through the aisles, pushing a buggy.
Your face hurts from smiling and laughing so much because you're just having a blast.
You got a kid like, dude, come over here. I'm like, I'm getting there as fast as I can.
And keeping up with the 7-8-year-old boys is so incredibly difficult.
They're like walking cans of Red Bull.
Yes, sir. It's amazing how much energy they have.
Oh man, it is a lot of fun.
Y'all have had a little practice running around with kids. This is my first experience with that. I don't,
Yeah, I'll lend you a couple.
Thanks. No, thanks. I'm
good. So moving on, what are there like hopes and goals for the future Blue Santa? And I mean, what is it going to take for us to get there or like reach more people?
I would love to see this get to where we can consistently serve 300 kids every year.
Okay.
That would be great. Mm-hmm. I want to see it grown, not just with how many we can serve, but with the departments, because it's not just Longview that's out there. We also have the fire marshals involved and the Gregg County Sheriff's Office, and the constables come out. We even have the judges invited, and the fire department has sent a few people out to help us with this as well. So it's while the department is the head of it,
right?
This is a truly community event, and anybody's invited to come and do this event with us, the Shop with the Cop. And I love having all of these multi-agencies. DPS also, forgot about them. They all come out. They all send their officers on duty or off, like we are, a volunteer thing, and they love coming out to it too. So I want to kind of keep expanding that and growing that relationship with everybody. I want to be able to consistently serve more kids and, just kind of make us like a name for it. The city kind of knows who we are now because of the coverage that we've received over the last 3 years with the Shop with the Cop event. The first year we were kind of like fish out of water trying to figure out how it worked. And we were trying to just work out the kinks and everything. And then the next year it just blew up. COVID I thought was going to slow everything down, and it did the opposite for us. And then the next year was even bigger, and we had large donations that helped get us there. So to get more donations to help fund us, because we are solely funded on the kindness of others, that would be a big goal of mine, so that we could just grow the program and maybe even make a full-time position for just Blue Santa. That'd be great.
That would be awesome.
I would run that. So
that's so one of the things that Rocket had hit on earlier was the interaction of these kids with our police officers is a big deal, because so frequently, interactions with officers may not always be super great.
Well, they may not always be in a positive manner.
Yes.
So that's kind of what this Shop with a Cop kind of gives those kids a realization of, okay, the cops are not bad guys. They are good guys, and they get to develop that we're not just taking people to jail. They get to realize that we're out there having fun with them, and we get to go Christmas shopping with them.
Yeah,
so they have a great interaction to build on their memories.
Yeah, we're here to help.
Yep.
No matter if it's 9:00 on a Tuesday night or on Monday close to Christmas when we're going shopping. And I remember one that stuck out to me. I can't remember if it was last year or in the year before. It was a mom, and because of some unfortunate circumstances, she was a single mom. Her husband was incarcerated, and at the end of it, you were talking about kind of sometimes those parents make it where it's like the drives at home. And she gave me a big hug, and she said, I don't know what I was going to do. She said, I work as much as I can. I'm a single mom raising 2 kids. And, oh, God, that one got me because she at the end of it, she was like, I didn't know how I was going to be able to give my kids, good stuff for Christmas. She said, because of y'all,
I've had a few where I've had to step back and take a moment before I could go shopping with the next one.
Yes.
So and sometimes their stories definitely, they stick with you and they impact you in a positive way because you realize you're making a difference.
I'm not crying. You're crying. It's a lot of fun.
It is. I'm glad that we've gone the direction that we have over the last few years because it's just been a blast.
I'm super excited for Monday and Tuesday.
You're going to love it. You're not going to know which way to turn. There's going to be so much energy in the air. You're going to feel it's truly like a magical experience. And I think that's kind of what made it more fun for the officers as well. Because some of them are coming on duty and they get to take a break from calls to get to go shop with the 1 or 2 kids, so it's a good time for everybody.
Yeah, it's your phone rings like, hey, LT, I'm going to burn my lunch by coming up for shop with the cop. Takes a cop. I'm like, hey, I'm good with it.
Okay, I think that we're going to try to wrap this episode up. We're going to mention our upcoming events. Rocket, do you want to mention the Good Shepherd?
Yep, we talked about it just a minute ago. But on December 12th at 9:30 in the morning, Christus Good Shepherd, 700 East Marshall Avenue here in Longview, the Longview SWAT team, along with Blue Santa, will be making an appearance there. You'll see Santa Claus rappelling down the side of a building, and hopefully a bunch of happy faces on the kids that are watching. So if you got some kiddos, bring them out. I think they'll enjoy it. You can have a chance to meet Santa Claus, take some pictures with him, look at our SWAT truck that's going to be there, and then we're going to go up inside the hospital and meet and greet with some of the kids.
Very cool. That same day, December 12th, that's a Tuesday, we have our community open house where our community is allowed to come and view our new facilities from 4 to 6. And December 14th, our recent academy grads are being commissioned, so congratulations to them. We're super excited about moving into our new building soon. Do you guys want to mention holiday traffic safety stuff?
Don't run red lights.
There you go.
I don't know. Don't drink and drive.
We didn't say that last time. That's good, yeah.
Few tips for you. Don't when you see the yellow light, slow down. Don't run the red light. Be safe. Be cautious. Lock your doors when you go inside the store. Hide your things.
That's a good one too.
Solid call.
Maybe take your keys with you.
There you go.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yes.
That sounds kind of like take walk hide.
It does.
Slow down. Don't be in a rush everywhere you go. Leave a little bit earlier.
I like it.
Things like that. Yeah. Just make the roads safer for everybody because everybody needs to be able to enjoy Christmas.
Yes.
So.
Good advice.
Yeah.
And a car accident does not add to that.
It does not. It makes things a lot more complicated. I can assure you that.
Well, Syndi, thank you so much for being on with us today, telling us about Blue Santa. We want to say happy holidays and happy new year to everybody. Stay safe. We hope you're doing good, and we'll see you next time.
It's a beautiful day.